production on that is so good. Happy endings. This is Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker and on 88 to 91 FM. BBC News at 10 o'clock. This is Nikki Cardwell. A leading emergency care doctor has warned that pressures on the NHS are putting lives at risk with ambulance delays and shortages of beds. Dr Ian Higginson, who's the Vice President of the Royal College of Emergency Medicine, says there's been a history of underinvestment in the NHS and more money is urgently needed to boost primary care, social care and hospitals. He says the situation is serious, particularly in A&E departments.
There's no doubt that when we're trying to treat frail, vulnerable elderly patients on trolleys in corridors, they're bound to come to harm, and there is absolutely bound to be an association with unnecessary deaths as a result of that. These are human beings in the middle of this.
The government says record numbers of staff are working for the NHS, including almost 4,000 more doctors compared with September 2021. The NATO Secretary-General has urged Western nations to be ready to give long-term support to Ukraine. Jens Stoltenberg says military assistance is vital for the country as Russia carried out a series of New Year's Day drone strikes. The BBC's Hugo Bachega, who's in Kiev, says more attacks are likely.
The NATO chief said military support would ensure the survival of Ukraine as a sovereign country, and he said that this would force Russia to negotiate. But he also said he saw no indication that Russia was willing to end the war at present, and in fact Moscow was preparing to launch more attacks. And this is something that we've heard from Ukrainian officials in recent weeks. Just days ago the spy chief told me that Russia was preparing another mobilization of conscripts, and an announcement could happen as soon as this week.
The new president of Brazil, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, has pledged to rebuild the country from what he called the terrible ruins of his predecessor, Jair Bolsonaro. Lula told hundreds of thousands of supporters at his inauguration in the capital, Brasilia, that his mission was to govern for everyone. 3 New York Police Department officers have been injured after they were attacked by a man with a machete during the city's New Year's Eve celebrations. The suspect is said to have struck one officer on the head before attacking the 2 others. Football, and Tottenham's hopes of a top 4 finish in the Premier League have been dented by a 2-0 defeat at home against Aston Villa. The Spurs players were booed off by the fans, but their manager Antonio Conte urged patience.
From the start of the season, I said, pay attention, because this season will be really difficult, because we are in a moment that we didn't have still good, a solid foundation. We are continuing to create this foundation.
In today's other game, Nottingham Forest clinched a welcome point in a 1-1 draw against Chelsea. And the weather clear across much of the UK tonight with some scattered showers, and there'll be some showers in the southeast. BBC News, it's 3 minutes past 10.
Now, BBC Radio 2 unwinds with Angela Griffin.
Oh, welcome to the calm after the storm. Presents have all been swapped, leftovers have all been used up, evidence of last night's antics have all been